Welcome back to the show where the lighting continually gets worse on a daily basis. I'm Jacob Sizemore, your reluctant host, and to my right is my second guest on the second episode of this podcast, Tim Morrell. Morrell? Sure, yeah, let's do that. Okay. How you doing, man? Doing okay?
I'm good, man.
Cool. Why don't you take one for the audience for me?
Okay.
Take one with El Clapper. So you entered this household, and it's a household, it's not even a studio, with a bit of a blasphemous shirt on. You have the Rise of Skywalker. Not Last Jedi t-shirt on.
I do.
Can you clarify that for me? Why do you have this?
Well, I bought it before
The
Last Jedi, and I wore it the night I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm one of the very few, though, who don't hate that movie. I mean, I think there's things obviously wrong with it. But
yeah. Well, you were telling me before that you didn't like Canto Bight. You didn't like them killing off Luke or the way they killed off Luke.
Yeah, but I don't think they should have killed off Luke. Period.
Yeah, but what are the things you really liked about it? Because I want to agree with you, because there are some things that I liked about The Last Jedi too, despite majority hating that movie.
I liked. I just liked that it did not go the way that I thought it was going to go, like a typical.
Sure.
Like when Ben, I thought it was creative the way Ben or Kylo killed Snoke.
Yeah.
With the thing. And then when it happened, I cheered. I was like, yeah, and you think.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you think he turned good, but then he spins it like, you know what I mean? To like still like, he's still like, hey, let's rule this together. Typical dark side. So I like that. At the end, I liked when you thought it was going to be where, he says, you could strike me down, but I'll still be there for like your father. And you're thinking like, oh, geez, here we go. This is going to be A New Hope. He's going to strike him down, and, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he runs. He goes. It looks like, slices him in half. And then Luke's still standing there like, well, how is he doing that?
Yeah.
And then he stabs him. And then you're still like, and then when you see him floating on the rocks over there on the island, I was like, wow, that was really cool. And it's like, okay, up to that point, I'm like, all right, I didn't really see Luke, Grandmaster Luke, in the action that I wanted.
Yeah, but you still get an opportunity to see him in the next movie, until
he dies.
Yeah, he freaking dies.
So I read somewhere that Colin Trevorrow, who was fired for 9, was begging Rian Johnson not to kill off Luke, and he did it anyway.
Yeah, because that's such an unceremoniously way to treat your main character for the past few movies. I mean, he's not the main character, obviously, of this series. And you can make the argument, like, they wanted to prop up these new characters. And, like, sure, whatever. The least you could have done is make them interesting and make Finn a Jedi and actually do something with his character at the end. But that's not the point. The fact that it's felt like such a disrespectful way to kill off Luke Skywalker, especially because to that point, we've never got to see a visual representation of him being that Grandmaster Jedi that we got to see in the comics, that we got to hear about in other material, but we never got to see that. We got to see a grumpy old Kermit come out of his shell and eventually say, oh, I guess instead of, lifting my jet out of the water and flying over there and committing acts of mass awesomeness, I'm going to force project myself.
Yeah. I think the problem with The Last Jedi, though, overall, is that after The Force Awakens came out, the two things that all of us fans debated was who was Rey, who was Snoke. Yeah. And it didn't answer either one of those.
Yeah. Well, it answered them, and this movie does this so well, it answers every single question with either more questions or it's just not a satisfying answer. Like, who are Rey's parents? They're nobody. Well, that's just not satisfying. Like, and Rian Johnson has said, like, well, that's disappointing to the character. Like, not really. It's more disappointing to the audience. It's not really portraying the character as that. The character wouldn't necessarily be upset that her parents are nobody. And she just wants parents. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she just wants to be loved, just like any orphan or whose parents left them, like Annie.
Yeah, sure.
But so that and. I think they could have done better with Snoke. They could have given us a little backstory, or if they wanted to keep it to 9. But obviously, I think Rise of Skywalker was a crap show, especially when I read, what George Lucas was originally doing for 7, 8, 9, and then what Colin Trevorrow released his, I think, script and concept art.
Oh, man.
That would have been way better. But,
have you read the script that Colin Trevorrow wrote?
I didn't read the full script, but I know what happens.
Oh, man. It is... if you think The Rise of Skywalker was missing that epic factor, that movie had it 100%.
Oh, yeah.
There was a battle at Coruscant. That movie validated the prequels, gave it some better continuity, and actually made John Boyega's character Finn, who was probably the best character that came out of these movies, actually legitimate at the end.
I disagree with you.
I take that back. Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Kylo Ren and Finn. I like them the best.
Kylo Ren could have been, but I agree with you that okay. I see what
we
you're
can
saying.
debate Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Continue your point.
I mean, Kylo Ren is the best. I'm sorry, Finn was. I still don't think was that great, but that's because of what Rian Johnson did and all that, and he should have been. He should have been trained. But yeah, and I mean, and Colin Trevorrow was calling it Duel of Fates, so
yeah. I mean, what a way to end out the trilogy. I mean, what George Lucas said about the original Phantom Menace was, with the Duel of Fates soundtrack, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi Wan and Maul are fighting over the fate of Anakin Skywalker and essentially the fate of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And so to have that correspond all the way to the ending and have the movie actually called Duel of Fates, what a great ending. Instead, you have Rise of Skywalker, which was a dog dung of a movie.
And you know what's crazy is I've been accused of being like, well, I don't know what the term is, Homer or whatever. Like, I love everything of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love the prequels, so you have those fans out there that just love anything they're going to do.
Yeah.
And when I first came out of Rise of Skywalker, I remember I was like, oh, yeah, that's great. Just because I just was so hyped for it. And I can see that you didn't like it. And then Ernesto was kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, really? I thought it was great. And then I went back and over the few times watching it, and I'm like, this is really a crap show.
You came over to my side.
Yeah, I'm like, this is just really terrible.
Welcome to the area of hating everything.
I mean, why couldn't you? I mean, what could have made it even better is at the end when all the Jedi are speaking to Luke.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking to Rey, like to get, like, why couldn't they had them just appear real quick of ghosts, Force ghosts, I mean, I thought it would have been better if, how Palpatine has all those, like, Sith ghosts or whatever those are.
Yeah, or the cult members or somebody.
Yeah, whatever they are. And have, like, a bunch of them jump down and Rafe and Kylo feel or Ben feel like, oh, we're surrounded. And then all of a sudden Luke, Anakin, and a few others appear and they're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And then they pull out, like that, and they basically wipe them. And then you have Anakin again, like, destroy the Emperor.
Yeah. And again, that would have propped him as the Chosen One again, because essentially Rise of Skywalker was there to say that, no, Rey's the Chosen One said.
Yeah. Or the new one.
The new Chosen One.
The new Chosen One. I feel like Mandalorian kind of redeemed Star Wars,
Here's the thing. I don't even think the first season of The Mandalorian is that great. Here, I do like it. I really do like it. Okay. I think it's a really good series, but I don't think it's anything jaw-dropping. And I think most people would agree with me. It's not anything jaw-dropping. It's not anything we haven't seen before. It's just really good Star Wars.
True.
And I think everyone can agree with that. But I think because it's so competently made and clearly felt with love and respect for the original trilogy and for prequel-era content, because we do see prequel-era content in this series, because of that, people give this more respect and say, this is the Star Wars we were hoping for, and instead we got quote-unquote new and improved, according to Disney. But
you know what? Going back to what you just said real quick here, or that validates what you're saying, is that what basically the big thing of Mandalorian 1 was Grogu.
Yeah, it was.
Baby Yoda. Who was he? Where did he come from? Is he Yoda clone? Is he Yoda? Did Yoda and Yaddle get it on? And, I mean, like, where did he come from? Like, how does he know the Force? I mean,
Revenge of the Sith, rated R, Yoda and
Yaddle.
That's not something I want to see.
How'd you get so big eating food of this kind?
Oh.
No, okay, that's terrible. I'm sorry. You can edit that out. That's terrible. I'm sorry. That's
the Star Wars that we all wanted to see.
We all wanted to see it.
Or we all didn't know we wanted to see.
And I was satisfied. And then when Mandalorian comes out, season 2, like, they really pulled out all stops on that. Because Ahsoka by herself would have been just enough to be like,
100%.
And then when she reveals, like, his name, and it's not even a bad name. I mean, although a lot of people are still saying, no, he's Baby Yoda. But Grogu's still a pretty good name.
That's a great name.
It's a great name. Kind of reminds you of Goku, but it's Grogu.
Kind of does.
And it makes sense that because of his age, that yes, he was around at the Jedi Temple, and
he saw Anakin commit genocide against the Jedi.
Yeah, and
we get proof of that in Boba Fett, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah,
but no, I think Mandalorian, especially in my opinion, especially season 2, because I think season 2 is better than season 1. I think story-wise,
by far.
Yeah, I think story-wise, season 1 might have a bit of an edge, but I enjoy watching season 2 because I've seen season 2 multiple times, and I've seen season 2 probably once, and I still enjoy it. I think it's a good show, but I think season 2 elevated the show, and they told the creators, okay, let's go crazy. Let's get Ahsoka in here, let's get Boba Fett in here, let's get all these characters in here, let's get the best villain in most of cinema from Breaking Bad. Let's get him in here.
Gus.
Man, it was so fun. And the Dark Troopers, and let's get, spoiler alert, Luke Skywalker in here and have him have a Darth Vader hallway sequence.
Do you know what's funny? You know how they kept that under wraps? I'm sure you already saw this.
Yes, they made everyone think he was Plo Koon.
Yes, which would have been, I still would have thought was cool, but not like Luke.
Yeah.
But that was genius to have the picture out there if it would have leaked out Plo Koon, because you could be like, okay, maybe Plo Koon ejected from, his starfighter.
Potentially.
Or landed, but no, that was pretty good. I've seen the finale of the last episode of Mando 2 like 20 times or whatever. My mom, who's like Star Wars, but not like me, or, she didn't care for the prequels, or, she's not like into it like us.
Yeah.
She even wanted to watch the last episode again, and she's like, oh, I love it. When is that coming back?
Yeah.
And then,
and if you wanted to do and I'm not necessarily for modern politics and movies, but if you wanted to do like a lady team up, that was the way how you do it in a movie, because you saw Avengers Endgame, you can see that's kind of forced because everyone is here, every single character is here, and then all the guy characters just kind of stepped aside and all the lady characters just kind of stepped in.
Are you talking about when Spider-Man's like, I don't know how you're gonna get through that, and she goes, has help.
She has friends. Number one, let me just rant on this for a second. Captain Marvel is probably the most powerful of everybody. She doesn't need help. She has friends. You're not gonna do anything cool. You have a stick. I love you as a character, but you have a stick, and Captain Marvel, as crappy as she is, has powers. Anyway, I'm going to go off that, but the lady team up...
Do you think she can beat... If they were at their full potential, you think she could beat Scarlet Witch?
I think Scarlet Witch is more powerful. I think Scarlet Witch would win.
I love Scarlet Witch.
And I actually love Scarlet Witch as a character.
Me too. So, okay. That's a good... I would agree with you on that.
She was the best thing about her own show. Back to the Mandalorian season finale. That's how you do a lady team up. And Gina Carano jamming her gun in the elevator. It's like, crap, it won't work.
Oh,
and then getting out and just mowing every single person down. It was just wonderful.
Oh, my girl, Gina Carano.
I miss you, Gina.
I did. So
I had such a crush on her.
So me and my wife.
Yeah.
Hopefully she won't be embarrassed by this. And hopefully won't get mad at me.
Yeah.
Sorry, hun. We have each these short lists of celebrities or people that we're allowed to outwardly outwardly admire and say, wow.
You have a list.
Yeah. Like a short list, that we're allowed to do, that we say, okay, we're putting on the list. And hers is like Thor, and hers is the guy who plays Reacher, the new Reacher show.
The big guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think she likes Henry Cavill, or I don't know, but she's got that little list. Nothing that we're saying that's really over the top or bad.
Yeah.
Just like that. So my list is Gina Carano, Gal Gadot, however you say her last name.
I've never found Gal Gadot super attractive. No? I think she's pretty, but I wouldn't. My list, I would not have her on my list.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Scarlet Witch, however, 100% on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I have Lisa Bonet, and then this one's going to sound really funny, but to people who probably don't even know who this is, but Soleil Moonfry, Punky Brewster is probably.
I wish I knew what that is. That might be showing my age as well as yours. I don't know who that is.
But none of them compare to my wife, so thank you, honey.
Wait. Oh, did you say Lisa Bonet? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do know who she is. What are we talking about?
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, Cosby Show. Yeah.
But that's because I grew up. So.
Yeah, well, I grew up with the Cosby Show, and before I knew that Bill Cosby was that, but that was a great show. No one can deny that's a great show.
No, of course not.
You just got to take it out of context for certain reasons. All right, let's talk about something.
Topic.
Let's talk about some other related to
her
daughter, who's in the Batman. Let's talk about the Batman. We both saw the Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Batman. I saw it yesterday with my wife.
All right, so we had to not talk about this before the show, so whatever we say is fresh.
Fresh.
So, initial opinions, let me know, please.
I think that when I'm just going to break it down, starting at the beginning, when it first started, the first 10 minutes, I thought like, wow, this is such an awesome intro.
Yeah.
Like the way he's narrating it, the way that they see the bat signal and they are just frightened. You know, like a lot of the criminals are doing weird stuff and they're just like, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to even, fool with that. And it almost seemed like Batman was kind of like a myth at that point.
Yeah.
Because when he comes down the stairs to save that guy who's being like that, they're like, who are you supposed to be? Didn't they say that?
They did.
And so it was kind of like maybe that was Batman's first time making his actual full appearance. I don't know, but it was kind of weird.
He said that it's been 2 years since I started this. So it's like this movie takes place 2 years before Batman started. So he's been working the city for 2 years and trying to, invoke fear in everybody. So he's been doing this for a while because people know who he is, and people are freaked out because they're looking into the shadows thinking he's going to be there. He's not there, but they're like, he could totally be there.
Yeah, so I loved that beginning. I loved the tone, the dark, Gotham, is supposed to be kind of a dark city, kind of got that criminal element to it. So I thought they did fantastic. Robert Pattinson was great. A lot of people screamed about him, obviously Twilight Boy,
Yeah. But he's been in some really good movies ever since then, so.
No, he has. Now, here's the funny thing, and hopefully my man card doesn't get revoked, is that I've seen all the Twilight movies a million times because, having a daughter who's, growing up with, and watching it because my wife likes it, that was one of those things that when nothing's on, you throw on Twilight.
Yeah, you may have to leave that here before you leave.
Yeah, so anyway, so I didn't hate Robert Pattinson, although I never understood why somebody would choose, Edward over Jacob. But,
yeah.
so I never understood that, but who am I? I don't know. I'm not an expert. But okay, back to Batman. I thought it was great. I am not a Batman like I'm not a Batman expert. Mm-hmm. So I can only speak on it superficially, right. Like that. I have 2 friends that are huge Batman fanatics. Glenn, Glenn.
100%.
Yeah, he's total Batman. And then my other friend, Ray, that's his favorite character, and so I go to them with questions. But overall, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought for the first 2 hours or so, it was the perfect movie until Zoe Kravitz, Catwoman.
So hold up, yeah. Let's go and let's keep it at a general level first, and talk about the whole plot of the movie, and then we'll get into spoilers because I'm gonna try and be better at this because in the past I've just gotten into spoilers without actually saying, "Hey, we're gonna get into spoilers."
Okay,
so
we won't go. So I am a huge Scream fan because it's not that I'm into horror. I like the who's done it, who's the killer.
Yeah.
So this whole time I'm thinking that the Riddler is somebody that we've seen.
Really? Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because he's wearing the mask and you don't quite know. And so I'm thinking like somebody's behind that mask and at the end he's going to get unmasked like Scooby-Doo, like, or Scream. And if not, it's fine because he's still the Riddler, I love the Riddler. I thought that was great. I love what's his name? How do you say his name? John Turturro?
John Turturro. We'll say that.
Yeah, who doesn't like him?
Yeah. I didn't know that Falcone was in the movie.
Yeah.
Until he showed up, which it's not really a spoiler. There are a lot of art pictures of him that have released online. It's not really a spoiler that John Turturro is in the movie and that he plays Falcone. I wouldn't even call it a spoiler at all, but he's in it. He actually plays a really convincing Falcone.
He does. And there's a lot of characters in it, but they do bring it together where it's, there's a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I thought Zoe Kravitz nailed Catwoman.
Oh, 100. I think I would probably say she's our best Catwoman. Very much next to not Halle Berry. What am I saying? No, not Halle Berry. I love Halle Berry, but not in that movie at all. Michelle Pfeiffer. No. I like Michelle Pfeiffer, but that's not my type.
She's white gold.
What?
Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. I'm quoting that song.
Hey, there's the door.
I'm quoting that song.
I know exactly what you're quoting. Michelle Pfeiffer, that white. I'm not doing that. But no, I think I like. What's the lady in The Dark Knight Rises?
Oh, I forgot about her. Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Oh, no,
I think
no.
she's
Okay.
great.
No, her. Yes.
I think she's wonderful as Catwoman.
I did.
I'm torn between these two because I think that Zoe Kravitz definitely beats her in certain areas of the character, and I think that Halle Berry, not Halle Berry. Dear God, what's her name?
Zoe Kravitz.
Not Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. I think Anne Hathaway has certain other. They're very different in how they approach the character.
So so getting to what if Robert Pattinson's my favorite Batman, I don't know yet. I think I got to watch it again.
Yeah.
I still now growing up, the originals. I of course like Michael Keaton, but I really like Christian Bale. And as a Bruce Wayne, I didn't think I thought Ben Affleck was good too.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I would rank him, but this is supposed to be Batman at a really young age, from what I understand, right?
He's very young.
He's very young, so he's coming to kind of like his code and all that.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since he's actually done it.
Yeah, so I thought Robert Pattinson nailed it for that period of Batman's time period.
Yeah, he's very angry, very emo looking. The entire movie.
Yeah.
It's not a phase mom, the whole movie.
No, yeah. So it was good. It was good. I liked Commissioner Gordon, but I love, what's his name, Jeffrey Wright? Is that his name, who plays Commissioner Gordon?
I can't remember his name. I know he's been in a lot. Here's my problem with Commissioner Gordon. There's a movie out there called Game Night, which he plays a fake CIA agent. And he has the same mentality as that CIA agent in the movie, except in the movie Game Night, he's faking it. He's an actor. But in this movie, he's Jim Gordon with kind of that same mentality. So I think he's great as Jim Gordon, but I could not help but kind of see him in that role. So it really distracted me throughout that entire movie. So don't watch Game Night before you go watch Batman.
Okay. He's just such a good actor because if you watch him, did you ever see Shaft?
There's the most recent one. I saw the old one.
Then there's the old one with Christian Bale's. Remember the rich kid who kills the thing?
Okay.
But remember the main gangster guy, Peoples Hernandez? That's Jeffrey Wright.
Holy crap, it is.
Yeah, where he's like, talking, like a Puerto Rican, gangster. And, and he's so convincing. You know what I mean? And he has some funny lines and stuff. And then you see him.
Wow, that makes sense.
Then you see him on Hunger Games, being he's supposed to be a real genius guy with that other girl.
And he was great in that.
So then I feel like he's a good, he's a fantastic actor, probably very,
And he had a great relationship with Batman because he was the only one that actually trusted Batman enough. He brought him on crime scenes, and you saw that other police, when he walked in, was like, what the heck is this guy doing here? Get him away. He's a vigilante. And he was the only one that was saying, like, just give him a second. I'm trying to trust him. I'm trying to give him a chance.
Yeah.
He was the only one that liked him.
And that was a good, I love the relationship between them two. I also liked, he wasn't in it very much, but Andy Serkis playing Alfred was really good.
He had 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
He really wasn't in it that much.
No. But, I see him, I automatically want to say, my precious, But I know I can't do it like you and your,
Call him his precious.
Yeah.
My precious.
And then we're Supreme Leader Snoke.
I can't do that voice.
Darkness rises and light to meet it.
And then, dies.
Yeah, and then Caesar loved human more than ape. Oh no, that's actually the bad guy. That's not he.
I think Caesar is probably Andy Serkis's best motion capture role. I love Gollum. I like Supreme Leader Snoke. For
wasted
whatever
character,
he's given.
By the way.
Sure, wasted character, but for whatever he's given, he has some kind of depth. But I think Caesar is his best character. All right, let's get into spoilers a little bit. So, in the movie, I'm going to get my first opinions off the bat. I think this is a great movie. I agree with you, and I said this when I came out of the theater. I need time to actually think about the movie and think if I like this better than The Dark Knight, which is my favorite Batman movie, and Christian Bale is my favorite Batman. I never was a huge fan of Michael Keaton. I don't even care for Val Kilmer, and I definitely don't care for George Clooney.
I don't either.
I really like... This may be an unpopular opinion, but I really like Ben Affleck's Batman, and I actually like that he kills. I actually think that differentiates him from other Batman. So I think this character had a lot to prove because he's new and he's younger and this is a different version of him. He had to differentiate himself from every single Batman, and I think he did that. I think he did that in the way of he was very silent throughout the whole movie. He didn't speak a lot. He mostly just looked at people, but that's all you needed from him. He didn't need to have long monologues. He just talked. He just looked at people and said like the shortest line possible. and I really enjoyed it. And he was also
like the weird kid in high school who's just real quiet.
Yeah, you can tell that when Bruce Wayne is out in public, you can really see like this guy would be weird enough to dress up as a bat.
Yeah.
I could see that guy being that kind of weirdo.
Or shoot up somewhere.
Potential shooter, yeah. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
That's really dark. But there's been a lot of people complaining that Bruce Wayne is the same as Batman. Like, there's usually a big differentiation. Bruce Wayne is a completely different person. Bruce Wayne is the mask, and Batman is who Bruce Wayne actually is. But there doesn't seem to be a big distinction in this.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah, I didn't mind it because I truly believe that this guy has had so little human contact and so long and so focused on fighting crime that he would be a little socially awkward in public right now.
And he didn't have like a voice thing. You know how the other ones, Batman kind of makes his voice sound a little different?
Hockey pads.
Yeah,
that.
Where this one is like that, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the same voice as that. So
just muffling his voice.
That wouldn't be hard. Did you ever watch Jessica Jones and Daredevil?
I watched Daredevil. I love Daredevil, and I watched the first season of Jessica Jones.
Because there's a part where they all come together, like in a Defenders show.
Oh, that sucked.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
But Jessica Jones, Daredevil doesn't want to be part of them, and he's like, want to leave, and she's like, I know who you are. You're the devil of Hell's Kitchen. He's like, no, I'm not. She goes, I'm a private investigator. How, I mean, come on. Like, basically saying that wasn't hard to put together.
100%. I mean, even have you seen the old Justice League cartoon?
How long ago? I mean, the 80s.
Like the old, not like the old Justice League, not the 80s version, but like the about 2000s version of it.
Oh, no.
Okay. There's a part in that where Batman, where they're all meeting together kind of for the first time, and Flash they're telling everybody we have to figure out our secret identities because it would be easier for all of us to know who each other are. And Flash is saying, like, I'm not really comfortable with this. And Batman just tells every single person the secret identity, like Clark Kent, Wally West, Bruce Wayne. He's like, he figured it out already. Like, okay, cool.
They're bringing back Daredevil, by the way, but that's a different subject.
Thank God.
I'm very happy about and loved the cameo in Spider-Man, by the way.
Oh yeah, wonderful. I'm a really good lawyer.
So back to the Batman. When overall I loved it. But again, like what I brought up, and you stopped me, let's do
spoilers now.
Is that one line?
Yep.
I'm just like, I'm into it. 2 hours, perfect movie until Selena Kyle, Catwoman, has to mention white privilege. And then right there, it's like, okay, white man bad in this movie.
Yeah.
That like that. Now, if she would have just said the word privileged, I wouldn't have had a problem with that because I believe in privileged, but I don't believe I believe there's privileged of every race. Will Smith's kids are privileged.
Yeah.
Obama's daughters are privileged, okay? Deion Sanders' kids are privileged, and all you have to do is listen to Will Smith's kids talk for 5 minutes, and you'll see that they are definitely not normal.
Yeah, no, all you got to do is go back in time and listen to Jade Smith's like quotes on Twitter. Like, what are you saying? Like, if Baby was a president, there would be no more wars. It's like, is that a thing that you're actually saying?
If who was?
If babies could be elected president, there would be no wars.
And that there was no time, and then I don't know.
Oh yeah,
just strange.
It's like,
stuff.
Are those words that are coming out of your mouth? Do you think these things on a daily basis? What is wrong with you?
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with the term privileged, and if they just would have taken that one word out, I just think that the whole white privilege thing is getting, old. But oh well, some people probably loved it. I'm sure there's a lot of people who loved it. But other than that, it took me about 15, 20 minutes. People are probably thinking, really, Tim? But to kind of like just talk myself, like, just ignore it.
Yeah,
just ignore it. At least that's not bad compared to what they've done recently in other films.
Man, and I think I'll agree with you at that point. It's definitely the race divider, and I'm not a huge fan of modern day politics and movies. I think anybody can make a movie about what they want, but it's very clear that Hollywood has an agenda, and it's very clear what it is, and it's very clear that they push it in movies. That being said, the way that I get past it is I can see that character doing that. And that character
True.
seems like that type of person who would be doing that. You can see where she's grown up, and you see who she is, and definitely tell that, okay, that's who that kind of person is. I think that's within her character. I can get past that. And because everyone in this movie is so differentiated on their ideologies. I think Batman would disagree with her. I think other people would disagree with her, but some people would agree with her. So I can see that character saying that line. That's the only reason I'm getting past it. And I know that Hollywood has that agenda, and that it might have been like a script note that they're saying, like, hey, Matt Reeves, you need to add this line. Maybe that was it, but I can get past it because of how much I enjoyed the movie otherwise.
And that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, again, I'm probably nitpicking here, and you're a couple people watching or will watch probably rolling their eyes at me.
Yeah, they'll get offended. And like I said, that's the worst thing that can happen to somebody.
Well, yeah. Like me. But I wasn't offended. I was just like more like, oh gosh, are you serious? Like, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it was a great movie. It was a great movie. I would love to see. You said, I think last week, you said that. Did you say that they didn't have any plans to do anything else, or?
Oh no! With Robert Pattinson's character, he is signed on for sequels, so he's good to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here's another thing I want to talk about for a second. Have you seen The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? All right, let's talk about this for a second. So, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, the only thing that I can think of, and I told Will Tyner this when we were seeing the movie, I leaned over to him and I told him that this world fits perfectly with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Yeah, but his Joker is like, isn't he like in the 70s or?
He is the 70s, but
and Batman's young.
Yeah, he is younger, and this is a little more modern day. So me and my early 2000s are like modern day.
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, maybe I misunderstood my friends because I asked them about that. Like, well, wait a minute, because that's Thomas Wayne, you know, and Batman's young.
Yeah,
is that this is not the same Joker? That there's multiple Jokers in the comics. That this is a different Joker that inspires the other Joker.
And that's entirely possible. If that's the case,
I could be wrong.
That seems weird.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but that it is a different thing or a different universe or something. But
yeah.
But that it's not the same as Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
Although I loved Joaquin Phoenix, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if DC does it right, they can rule the next 5 to 10 years.
They're doing great so far. I mean, they have a good slate of movies that are coming out. I'm not interested in the new Dwayne Johnson movie, but I do like Shazam.
Really?
You
don't
Aquaman.
Want Black Adam?
No, I don't care about The Rock, really. I think he's just over the top, and I kind of find him annoying, to be honest.
Well, but as long as he doesn't play his over the top, you know what I mean?
Not even over the top. I just can't take him serious. Like, the only movie that I actually really like him in is Jumanji. And that's because he's technically a younger, scrawny kid.
I mean, I see what you're saying. That's like I can't take Kevin Hart seriously.
Well, I can't take him seriously, but that's fine because he's Kevin Hart. He's hilarious.
Yeah, but like if you stuck him in as like a serious drama role as a lawyer, being serious,
yeah.
Like,
well, I actually give Kevin Hart some credit. I actually did see him in a movie where he did pretty good as the drama part.
Okay, maybe I didn't see that one. Kind of, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm not a huge Kevin Hart fan.
Yeah.
I take it back. I like Kevin Hart in movies. I don't like his stand-up. And I like him when he's the side character. I don't like him as the main character.
I can agree with that.
You know, I go back to his small cameo in 40-Year-Old Virgin when he's arguing.
Oh, crap. He was in the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Remember, he's like, I need you to give me the warranty on the house and, you know, be my guy. You know, he's just,
yeah.
And then the guy's like, no, I can't do that. And then they start arguing, talking about gang stuff, that he's going to come back. And but I thought that was hilarious, though. And then he's on Scary Movies where he's talking to Anthony Anderson doing the paradox. Are you telling me that you can, be, wake up dead? And you remember those paradox things,
Mm-hmm.
So I like him when he's the side character. I think he's really funny.
He's a great side character.
But
I actually find his stand-up comedy hilarious. Okay. I don't know why. I feel like I'm the only Kevin Hart fan out of everyone that I know. Not everyone I know like just thinks he's okay or just doesn't really like him. I don't know why. I really like Kevin Hart. I love his comedy bits when he's talking about his mom and his teacher when his mom told him to go to tell his teacher to mind her own damn business. Oh. And he's just like, do you want me to curse in front of my teacher? Like, what did I say? And I'm just making sure that's what you want me to say. And that's what what did I say? if you, I swear, I will bust your butt if you don't. Like, okay, just making sure. Okay, just making sure. And then he goes to school the next day, and then he like curses at his teacher, and then he comes home later, and his mom tells him like, "What did I say? I told you to say 2 curse words. You said 56. What you doing?"
See, I haven't seen that.
It's so funny.
But I'm very picky when it comes to stand-up comedians. Like to me, I don't think Gabriel Iglesias is funny. I don't think Fluffy's funny at all. I mean, he may say something here and there, but I don't think he's funny. Chris Rock, I think, is funny.
Very funny.
Dave Chappelle, I think, is funny.
Very funny.
Eddie Murphy's old stuff, But
has he done comedy bits as of recent? I haven't seen anything from
Paul
Eddie
Rodriguez
Murphy.
was pretty funny back in the day, early day, but like I don't know. I just don't think Gabriel Iglesias is funny. Cristela Alonso, she's hilarious.
I've never seen her. I've heard of her. I've never seen her.
Yeah, she's hilarious, and she has a Netflix series you can stand-up thing, and I was rolling. I watched that like 5 times.
Okay.
But Cristela Alonso, and she's from Texas. But
yeehaw.
And she gets a little political, but she does it in a funny way. Like, even though if you don't agree, it's pretty clever. Like, oh, okay, I get it. It's funny.
Can you definitely tell that for certain comedians that they're definitely waning with certain PC culture tendencies that are happening? Because I saw Jim Gaffigan's recent comedy special, and I think he's very much waned on some of his comedy. He used to be really funny, and I don't think his comedy special...
Oh, they all are, except for Dave Chappelle.
Oh, Dave Chappelle's just rocking. He's just very much... He knows the exact demographic he's going to offend, and that exact demographic always reacts the same way that he predicts it.
He's like... I don't care. But what's funny is Dave Chappelle is he'll come out with one show that's very woke, PC, and then he'll do another one that's very coming against them, and then it's like he flip-flops.
Yeah, because he's good at flip-flopping, because I think he's very much a liberal, but he doesn't care for PC culture.
Yeah.
So he's just going to offend people. He definitely supports all this crap, but he is not going to subscribe to your feelings. Like, I don't care. He's gonna offend everybody.
So if you tell me a joke that makes fun of my political thing, or send me a meme that makes fun of my thing, and it's funny, I'm gonna laugh my butt off, and I'm gonna probably post it on Facebook, because I can laugh at myself. You know what I mean? And I can laugh at, and that's why I used to love Simpsons and those shows, because they made fun of everybody.
Yeah.
Not just one side. So. But it's good, but unfortunately comedy's not what it used to be.
I agree with 100% what you said. Like, both demographics, it doesn't matter where you fall into, and I'm not going to get in my own personal political beliefs, but Republican or Democrat, both sides have hilarious things that you could easily make fun of. And every one of those is valid. And all you really need to do is just laugh at it. Like, there are jokes that are not funny and that are just offensive for offensive sake, and I get that. Yeah. But there are jokes that are funny. Like, there are funny things about Donald Trump. There are funny things about Joe Biden. Like, just laugh. Like, acknowledge those things and laugh at it. But you don't need to take it all to heart.
Yeah, exactly. Let
me preach on this show real quick.
Yeah, I know, huh?
I'm sorry.
I know, huh? But no, people are getting away from that PC stuff. But it's good.
It's about that time. You're around to the 90s where that stuff definitely... kind of the 90s, you couldn't say certain things, and then eventually people kind of got out of it, and then around around our age, or this modern day time, PC culture is definitely back. I think it'll flip flop either way. Like, once PC culture starts to kind of take over, people will kind of get fed up and just say, you know what, I'm just going to say what I want.
I think that's already happening, but I don't see shows and movies ever going away from it because of the people that control it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think that you're just going to have shows that don't push it.
Speaking of sucks, let's talk about Star Wars again.
Okay. Hey, it's my favorite subject. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about Obi Wan first.
Okay.
Because that's coming out pretty soon, and
Obi-Wan.
We're supposed to be getting a trailer either Wednesday or Thursday.
Really?
Supposedly.
See, how did I not know that?
The freaking show comes out really soon.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten anything. And I thought we would be getting something during the Super Bowl, and we didn't.
I heard a rumor. Can't confirm it's a spoiler. I'm just kind of going like this. Like, some people make a spoiler that the you probably heard this too, that the story is going to be where there is another Jedi out there that survived Order 66 and is looking for Obi-Wan and finds him on Tatooine. But because he's being pursued by Sith Inquisitors or Inquisitors, they kind of they kind of follow him.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. I don't remember the actor's name, but I don't if anyone ever watched Rebels and all that. They had the Grand Inquisitor on there.
Yeah, he was the guy who played Malfoy's dad in the Harry Potter movies and Captain Hook in that one Peter Pan movie.
Okay, yeah, he's going to play the Grand Inquisitor.
What a great casting decision.
Oh, yeah.
He's great in that role, and he's just great at being a slimy bad guy. He's really good at that.
Yeah, he is. Well, I'll have to go back. I'm pretending like I remember who you're saying. But
okay.
There's some things that continuity-wise that are big questions, with it. Like Vader, how if he finds out that Obi Wan is on Tatooine, then it's not like he's just going to stop pursuing him till A New Hope. So my guess is that at the end, which we talked about, I'm kind of skipping, is I think that Vader actually beats him, not to the point where, obviously, because he has all his limbs, but I think Vader gets the upper hand and Obi-Wan fakes his death and then goes back on Tatooine to watch over Luke, and Vader thinks he's dead all this time.
He's going to have to, and he's also going to have to do it off-world. And there are rumors that Obi-Wan is going to travel off-world, which, personally, I think I'm kind of fine with, because it doesn't make any sense. If there are Grand Inquisitors that are pursuing this Jedi, and he's going to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he's going to Tatooine, then Obi-Wan is going to make sure that he's not available to be taken. Because he knows, if the Grand Inquisitors know he's there, then that means the full might of the Empire and Darth Vader is going to come down upon him, and then whatever he's doing protecting Luke Skywalker, he's screwed. So he has to go.
Because Vader, he's obsessing every day about Obi-Wan.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Have you ever, I think I asked you before if you ever got in a fight before, and you said not really.
Kind of.
Okay. But
I wouldn't say bloody fights, but
okay. But let's say somebody did you wrong, or you got in a fight, and you can't stand that person, you hate this person, and all you do is think about how am I going to get that person back when I fight him? I'm going to do that, and that just consumes you. That's what Vader times 10. He hates Obi-Wan. Here's somebody that chopped my legs off. I'm consumed with him. So, and it's 10 years later, so you have a very strong Vader where he's still kind of young.
Yeah.
Not as like that. So you're going to see a total different Vader than you saw in Revenge of the Sith. And
100%.
You're going to see a very strong Vader.
He's very pissed off Vader.
A very pissed off Vader, yes. So going back to what you said about the off-world, they released some concept art, and it shows them dueling, looks like on Mustafar.
That really confuses me, but it actually might be that might be a good thing. Maybe it's George Lucas's thing where it's poetry, it rhymes, something like that.
Vader supposedly lives on Mustafar.
He does live on Mustafar.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right, because you see it on
castle,
Rogue One and all that. So what I think happens is I think Qui-Gon appears to him because Qui-Gon was very pro Anakin, obviously, and very pro. He's the chosen one, this and that. So I think that Qui-Gon eggs Obi-Wan on hey, you need to go back there, and there's still good in him, and you can turn him back. You need to go try. And so I think Obi-Wan goes there. And also you need to maybe do that too in case it doesn't happen. You need to protect Luke.
Yeah.
Because he knows you're here, Obi-Wan. Like you said, he knows you're on Tatooine, so you need to go to him before he goes here.
Because you can't have Luke at risk at all. As soon as he finds out you're here, then he's coming to Tatooine. He's going to find him, and he could also find Luke. I think there's so many things you could do with this show. You have to emphasize two things in particular. You have to emphasize Obi-Wan Kenobi's suffering, because he feels guilty. Above all people, he feels guilty at this scenario because he's the one who trained Anakin. He's the one who brought Anakin up.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one who became best friends with Anakin, and now Anakin is the Dark Lord of the Sith. And you have to emphasize the fact that I don't know if he's going to figure out in this show that Anakin is Darth Vader or if he already does figure out, but that's going to weigh heavily upon his soul. They're I brought up, I had the Chosen One in my hands. And now not only is he not the Chosen One anymore, but he is now the Dark Lord of the Sith, and he's killed every Jedi.
So, just playing devil advocate, can a The Last Jedi person use that same argument with Luke, that he feels so guilty about his own nephew turning to the dark side, failing his sister, that he kind of goes off and hides like Obi-Wan? But Obi-Wan's there not getting rid of the Force. I get that, and not saying he's not a Jedi.
Let me throw a metaphorical brick at your face for a second.
Okay.
No, because Luke Skywalker is being a pansy. Luke Skywalker, I'm not saying he's a pansy. I'm saying they made him a pansy.
Luke's always whined, though. If you watch A New Hope, he's kind of a whiner.
The whole point of the original trilogy is he turned into a Jedi. He's no longer the whiner. He is a Jedi now. He's not hiding. He's not hiding for any logical reason. The only reason Obi-Wan Kenobi's hiding is to take care of Luke.
I get that.
The reason Luke is hiding is because he's a pansy.
Okay.
He has so many opportunities to help his friends and help his... Yeah, because he failed. Well, he failed, but he's also leaving his friends alone and not helping them. Obi-Wan has no choice.
Okay, you win this round.
Yes.
Okay, you win this round.
Okay.
But okay, go on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean you were saying that.
No, you're good. I appreciate that.
No, but yeah, go ahead. What were you saying? I cut you off though. You were saying that
the second thing that you have to establish is Darth Vader, because above all, this show is going to be a Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Yeah.
Because central character is Obi-Wan, of course, and we're going to figure out what happened to him and the struggles that he's going through. But also, it's kind of Darth Vader's show as well, because again, who was mostly affected by Obi-Wan Kenobi's actions? Darth Vader. Who does Darth Vader have a grudge against the most? Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you saw the old comics, it's the same thing. Darth Vader is obsessed with finding Obi-Wan Kenobi to the point where the last remaining Jedi, that are like 9 Jedi, set a trap for Darth Vader, and all they say to Darth Vader is Obi-Wan Kenobi's here. And then the very next panel of that comic is Darth Vader running down the hallway, destroying everything in the hallway, and then he busts open the door and says, "Where is Obi-Wan Kenobi?"
I want to see that.
It's such a great comic, and then he kills every single one of them. Like, not without like getting his helmet messed off, his arm cut off. But it's such a violent comic, and it's so true to who Darth Vader is. He's just an angry human being that he will kill anyone just for a chance to get Obi-Wan Kenobi back.
Like, I feel like exactly what you're saying is that like he loves Luke deep down inside. He loves. Shimmy appeared, or probably had even maybe a soft spot for Qui-Gon, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Qui-Gon did. But his hatred towards Obi-Wan is, you know what I mean? And that's why we've talked before about Obi-Wan being a little more cynical about that Vader can turn back or not. Like, Luke believes it. Padme says it before she dies.
Yeah.
They're still good for him. I believe Qui-Gon's going to believe it. But then after they meet again, I think it's going to be like, no, he's more machine now than man. Twisted and evil. Like, there's no good in him at all. So do you think that... I think Obi-Wan's going to... I think so when Obi-Wan kills an Inquisitor... Probably not the Grand Inquisitor, because I think the Grand Inquisitor lives...
Oh, no, the Grand Inquisitor dies in Rebels.
So I think that he doesn't die, but he'll probably send out, because there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But either way, I think what could happen is that Obi-Wan finds out, like, okay, they know I'm here, and I can't risk him knowing Luke. So he runs to Owen and Aunt Beru and is like, hey, I need to get Luke out of here. And they're like, no, you're not taking him. I'm not going to let him follow you on some damn idyllic crusade, like you took his father from his mom,
100%. Because he hates Ben. He doesn't like in New Hope. He hates Ben.
Yeah,
he hates Obi-Wan.
And so I think you're going to see that dynamic there, because he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, so before Luke, so the old book, like the old Star Wars Legends, that don't count, the old books.
Yeah, even though those stories are so much better.
Like did you know the original thing was that Uncle Owen was Obi-Wan's brother?
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, that originally he gave it to his brother on Tatooine. That was the original backstory. Never where it now, of course, Lucas, it didn't come out in a movie, so Lucas could change that.
Yeah.
But the writers wrote
That's weird.
That was that. And so there was these teen books after the Phantom Menace came out. There was these kid books of stories where Qui-Gon first takes Obi-Wan as a apprentice.
Yeah.
Where it starts off with Obi-Wan as being in the temple and how he gets it and all that. And there's a part in there. I used to have the book where Obi-Wan's trying to think of his family. And he goes, I do know I have a brother named Owen. And I do like that. And he even says that in the book. And I remember showing a coworker. I said, see, in episode 2, Owen's,
here's proof.
Yeah. And then it didn't happen. It's the stepbrother, But yeah, that was the original thing.
I don't like that. I'm not going to lie. I think that's stupid.
I mean, it works if you don't have it where Jedi can't know their family.
I guess so. I guess you could make an argument there. I also think it's a little unnecessary, though. because there's no connection in A New Hope. There's really no connection. Like, I'm pretty well versed in Star Wars. I don't know everything, but I'm pretty well versed, and I didn't even know that it was a possibility. And even if it was, like, if they were brothers, it's not going to add anything.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of stupid.
I had more of a problem with, at first, Boba Fett being a clone, but in the Legends, Jaster Meal, who came from Concord Dawn, and Boba Fett. But Lucas can change anything he wants. So,
and he did, some for the better, some not so much.
But I like his arc now, not in the Boba Fett show.
Yeah.
But
So let's talk about something else for a second. One of my friends, Will Tyner, who was my first guest on the episode, had a comment of Revenge of the Sith, and that it was a negative experience for a movie. And you wanted to rank these Star Wars movies and talk about your favorite, your least favorite, and stuff like that. But do you want to talk about Revenge of the Sith, or do you want to rank our movies? Because I'm good with both.
I can rank my movies, and you'll see where my Revenge of the Sith is. So,
okay, let's do it.
So, do you want to rank just the saga films?
Just the saga films. That makes it a lot easier.
Okay. That's going to be kind of tough. But, okay, I'll go. So, starting from the worst to the best, Rise of Skywalker. I'm going to go with The Force Awakens.
Really?
And then The Last Jedi. Then I'm going to go with Attack of the Clones, The Phantom Menace. Then I'll go with A New Hope. And then I will go with New Hope. I'll go with Return of the Jedi. And then the last two will flip-flop depending on my thing. It'll probably be Empire and Revenge of the Sith.
I gotcha.
But I will say this: I feel as far as a film being made, I feel Empire is the perfect film.
It's a great film. Yeah.
Like Revenge of the Sith still has some problems with it.
Yeah, the writing in areas is some of it's not great, and Darth Vader being in it wasn't really good.
Yeah.
The only scene that Darth Vader was in where he was really good was when we stayed next to the Emperor, seeing the Death Star, saying nothing. That was pretty good.
Yeah. And if we were just ranking, the other ones, then, Rogue One would probably just jump the sequel trilogy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That movie is actually legitimately great. Let me rank this first.
Okay.
For mine, Rise of Skywalker at the very bottom, because there's
even more than The Last Jedi, huh?
Even more than The Last Jedi. There's not a movie... Like, I get angry at The Last Jedi, but I get furious at Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
And I don't like Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, but that movie gets me angry. Every time I've only seen it twice.
I've
really only seen it like once and a half.
That whole sequel trilogy gets me mad.
It's so furious. Because here's the thing. I saw The Rise of Skywalker once, and then I wanted to try and see it again to give it a chance, and I didn't even finish it. I just got too angry. Like, I'm done. I can't do it. So I've only seen that movie one and a half. I've seen The Last Jedi a few times because there are things in that movie that I legitimately like. The next one is Attack of the Clones, because I really am not a huge fan of that movie. It only really gets good at the end, and even then, it's not really that good.
But Yoda's fighting with the lightsaber. You never saw that before.
It's cool, fine. But you also got the wooden dialogue of Hayden Christensen, who is better in Revenge of the Sith, and I will make an argument in Revenge of the Sith he's good, but not in this one.
Okay, I agree with you.
The Last Jedi's next, because that movie gets me angry. Phantom Menace, but that only barely edges out that one. So it's just this Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Revenge of the Sith. I have to be honest with myself for Revenge of the Sith. I love Empire Strikes Back. I really do. Vader is always going to be my favorite character of all time. But
me too.
At the end of the day, I would rather pop in Revenge of the Sith. At the end of every single day.
That's where I find myself.
Yeah. I got to be honest with myself. Like, I love Empire Strikes Back, but I need to be in the mood to watch that movie. I can watch Revenge of the Sith any day, anytime.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you. And that's really hard. I actually saw Empire the day it came out on the theater.
Really?
My aunt and uncle took me. They were babysitting me. My parents were on vacation or something. I was like 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 years old, and we watched it. And my aunt said, "Do not tell your parents that Darth Vader's a Luke Skywalker's thing." My parents called to check up on me, and that's the first thing I said. My aunt My aunt got so mad at me. She gave me the silent treatment for like the rest of the
gosh.
day. And, but I was a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's to me, Empire's the flawless movie. Glenn says that it's the flawless movie except for one line. It's when the guy goes, 2 fighters against a Star Destroyer. You know, the way he looks. You know, he's got that look on his face, but I don't know.
That's fine.
I think it's still fine, too.
I think he's nitpicking.
And it's got Cliff from Cheers in it. I don't know if you know.
Don't know what Cheers is. Don't care to find out.
Okay, old 80s
But I
show.
appreciate that you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Appreciate your knowledge of Cheers.
Cheers.
But yeah,
Cheers was like the funny show like Friends is, The Office is now.
Friends is my show that I can also watch anytime. Friends and Revenge of the Sith, I can pop in anytime.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good with this.
Okay.
Let's.
Me too, man. It's good
I
stuff.
like talking to you, my guy.
Me too, man. It's been a long time.
Dude, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you coming back.
Anytime,
We haven't
man,
had a podcast
anytime.
in a very long time. By the way, I did name this skull. I did talk about the skull last time and the fact that I haven't named it, but I do need to name it, and its name is Larry. Larry the skull. It's not special. It's not majestic. It's just Larry. It's Larry the skull.
What is that a skull of?
Saber-tooth skull. It's apparently a fetus saber-tooth skull because normally these would be this big, but it's this big.
See, we didn't talk about the new Jurassic Park thing, but you can keep that to talk about that next week.
We got to talk about that for next time.
Yeah, next time or your next week with your next guest, talk about Jurassic Park.
Or I can bring you back and we can talk about it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, my guy, for coming on the show. I appreciate you very much. Good seeing you. And Ernesto, roll those credits, my guy.